Hi everyone, my name is Eugene Frunze. Welcome to my investing channel. So at the very beginning, I will try to apologize because English is not my native language. So what I did, I have recorded previously this video and I have imported into a tool I'm using to generate those videos, which is called Vegas Pro. I am using a feature which is generating text out of the recording out of what I have talked into my recording, and I have taken this text and put it into ChatGPT and ask the artificial intelligence engine to improve for my English. And right now I'm actually talking open, and I will start from now on reading this particular text, which I have done it previously just because I want you guys to have a better experience from that perspective, right? So this is a sign of respect for the people who are actually listening to this channel. And hopefully you're not going to be too disturbed by the fact that I'm reading, because I have here on the screen Questrade, and I'm using Questrade to do the investment on the day-by-day basis, and I will show how my investment progressed during time from the very beginning, from December 30th, 2021, when I have started. So again, now I'm going to read the text, and again, hello everyone, I'm Eugene Frunze. Welcome to my investing channel. In this first video, I'll be talking about investing in the stock market. I started doing this investment around the end of 2021. You can see in this chart that I have performed deposit over time, and I was able to grow the account to nearly $300,000. Then the market crashed and most companies dropped by 50% or more into value, and you can see this is happening from here to here. Only a few companies like Google and Microsoft were down around 30%. But many major stocks, including Nvidia, Boeing, and other companies, good companies, fell by 50% or more. And at this point, I lost my patience, and I made a few classic mistakes that many beginners make. I ended up selling mainly out of fear and wanting to protect what I had left. Big mistake, like I said. As you can see, the portfolio dropped from 300,000 down to 189, almost $190,000. I'm talking about Canadian dollars. Around that time, I bought Nvidia and invested about 40,000 Canadian dollars at approximately $290 per share for Nvidia. When the market collapsed, Nvidia went down, and the stock price went down to around, dropped to around $130. But after the market recovered post-COVID, Nvidia surged all the way to $1,500 per share. Today it's priced around 150, but that's after a 10-for-1 stock split. In terms of 2021, 2022 pricing, it's actually 1500, right? This experience taught me a valuable lesson, one that's emphasized in every investment book. Never sell great companies when they're down. And you have to understand that I'm talking about very good companies, right? Because there are a lot of companies which, let's say, are no name, very volatile, and you don't know what's going to happen with those companies, not only during crash time, but during regular time. But good companies like Amazon, Google, Microsoft, Nvidia, they will always come back. They have the money to invest, the cash to invest in making and growing the company. As you can see, over the past years and a half, I was able to grow my portfolio from around 190,000 to approximately 259,000. That's an increase of nearly $70,000. My current strategy involves active trading. I trade almost daily, buying and selling regularly. Sometimes I hold position for a few days, but I usually aim to close trades in the same day, especially if I hit my target. For me, a significant gain is about $150 per day. That's the goal I aim for. Of course, there are days when the market performs strongly, and it's possible to earn 600, 800, or even $1,000 or more. On days when the market is rallying up 3%, 4%, or even 5% across the board, it's often better to hold a bit longer and maximize your gains. I just wanted to mention that in the beginning, I bought a lot of books to learn more about investing. One of the first was The Intelligent Investor, so let me find it in here. I think I have a couple of versions of this book, a more recent one, which is here, and probably the first edition. This is the book which was, it's actually a classic. It was the favorite for Warren Buffett. As you can see, another one which is written by Peter Lynch, a very famous hedge manager with a lot of practical experiences and good examples into the book. Other books as well, interesting to see, especially for people who never study economics into school. Alan Greenspan, from his experience, and it's called The Age of Turbulence, just trying to learn in general about economics, not only about the stock market. So reading helped me build a foundation and understand the concepts. But at the end of the day, nothing beats real-world experience. I'd like to show you the tools I'm using every day to monitor the stock market and explain the approach I'm taking. My goal is to publish a video every week to share how I have progressed during this time. For example, in the past month, from May the 25th up to June the 29th, which is today, I made about 2,400 US dollars. It's not a huge gain, but not bad either. The market is currently at a high, yet overall momentum has been shaky, especially since actual President Trump reignited concern over trade tariff. It's interesting that ChatGPT said former President Trump. Because of this uncertainty, I try to keep a large portion of my portfolio in cash. I am actively trading, buying and selling, but staying flexible and cautious. You never know what could happen next, another escalation with China, new tension with Europe, and so on. With that in mind, let me walk you through a few key things I'm looking at right now. Let's take a look here. This is an application I use called Seeking Alpha. I pay for the premium version, about 40 Canadian per month, billed annually, and it provides a wealth of information. You can see the latest news, the top news, the US economy, including major headline and economic news from the US. I keep this open daily to stay informed. This section is the portfolio watch. So let's move to the next one, which is this one, the portfolio watch. I'm actually following up in here a number of companies. And these are the companies I'm tracking. They're sorted by daily performance from top gainers to top losers. You will see the same. I'm looking for the opposite order. I also use the reverse view to see which quality companies had a significant drop that day. That helps me spot potential buying opportunity. Okay, so this is for those companies. Now I can open a particular company. I'm looking right now at Bungie. For the summary page, I'm able to see how the price for the share evolved during time. So let's say I'm looking for the last 5 days, for the last month, for the last 6 months, for the last year, 5 years, and so on and so forth, right? So you can see how this particular stock evolved. There are different other charts you can take a look at. I'm just showing a few things which are important to me. I'm looking as well on a regular basis for the financial information for the company, especially for the cash flow. And what I'm interested is actually this number, net change in cash, which is 296 million plus, right? You are able to see how much a company earn. At the same time, if the company invested money to acquire other companies or to buy, for example, to pay the dividend or to buy additional repurchase additional stock for their own stocks, right? You can see as well the debt which has been issued for the year and the one which has been already repaid. So this is important because I have decided to invest only in companies with very good cash. Another piece of information which is important, especially for retired people which are living from dividend, it's actually the dividend information. You can see when the dividend are actually paid for dividend history every month and so on and so forth, right? I'm not playing too much on the dividend. You can see a lot of other information. You can see, for example, the historical prices for every day. The price when the stock opened during the day in the, at the beginning in the morning, and the high and the lows, and as well the close share price at the end of the day. It is an important tab, the momentum, because you are able to look at all the financial numbers, and especially in theory, this is important, the 200 days average and the price, right? So when the price actually went up from below the 200 days average on top of it, right? This is the moment indicated by the theory that it's better to buy the stocks, right? So this is another indication. At the same time, if I'm looking for the peers, I'm able to see other corporations which are doing similar in the same industry, and I can see differences in terms of the enterprise value, market cap, the number of employees. So, for example, Bungie has 23,000 employees. Bungie is a company whose, they are making cooking oil and probably some other type of oil, industrial and so on, whatnot, from agriculture products. That company is usually at around $100, $110 a share. It went down probably a couple of months ago to around $75, $80, but I'm expecting for it to go back. Right. So other companies which I'm following, for example, Thermo Fisher, it's a very good company who went down from 600 to 400 recently, maybe a month ago, and it's a good investment on the long term. I have as well different other type of portfolio. For example, this is a very volatile, but you can gain or lose a lot of money with those companies which are building quantum computers, right? It is not unusual to see 30%, 50% raise in a day, right? And normally they are going up or down 5%, let's say, but there are days when you can see they are going up, 50%. So those companies probably a year ago were around $1, and from $1 it went up to $13 or even to $50 a share, right? So this is a very good tool which I'm using. All of those tabs I'm keeping open during the day. Different companies I'm interested in. Google, it's at 20% down for the year. It goes around 175 to 180. It has a resistance at 180, but it should go around 200 in better days, right? I'm keeping open the Yahoo Finance tab, which is all the news for the US market, and those are very good because during the day you can see how the market evolves based on different information, different news from the world, the Iran-Israel war, the price of oil, and so on and so forth. At the same time, it's a similar page for the Canadian finance market, right? Similar type of news for the Canadian market, and I have another tab open which shows me the exchange rate of United States dollars versus the Canadian. Just for you to see that people are making money keeping their investment into American dollar, because American dollar until recently was seen as a reserve currency. It was keeping its value, and recently, maybe a month ago, the American dollar was 145 in a report. With the Canadian one, it went down to 136. The prognosis is it will go down to 130. So for 300,000 US dollars, zero point 0.1, the difference between 145 135 is actually $30,000, which is quite a lot. So this is the other tool I'm using. I want to show you one more. And just as a note, I'm not reading because I think probably it's better, to have just an open discussion, and maybe, it's, English is not perfect, but it's more fluent this way. So that's an Excel spreadsheet. I'm keeping a list of probably around 100 companies, and I'm actually looking at the minimum share price and the maximum share price for the year for that particular company. In that case, this is Apple. I make a note when the cash is really very good, because those companies will recover pretty well. And if you look for the date, June 15, probably I was not maintaining this until recently, until last week. You can see that this is how much it dropped from the maximum over the year. So that particular company is like 40% down. And when it's going up, you're going to gain a 66%, right? So this is giving me a good indication what companies are actually really down, like Halliburton, which is an energy company, is like 50% down. Intel, which did not progress very well in the last couple of years, is 55% down, right around $20 a share, I think. Yeah, 22.69. This is Mercedes, MongoDB. They are doing databases, non-relational databases for computers, Microsoft, and so on and so forth. So this is a good indication for me to follow up a lot of the companies, because you cannot really know what's happening with every one of them during the day. But if you add those numbers at the end of the week, at least you have a good indication in what direction that company goes, right? And sometimes some of them are a good buy, especially if you follow them on a weekly basis and you know what it's actually an expected price, and if they are actually going much less than the expected price, right? So you know exactly what to do. Those are a few tools which I'm using, right? I just wanted to show it to you, and as a first video, I'm trying to post a video every week. We're gonna progress together. We're gonna see together how my account evolves. Maybe I will make some money, or maybe I will lose some money, and for sure I will make mistakes, and hopefully we're gonna learn from those. And if you if you haven't invested yet, maybe for you following this, it will gonna be a good lesson. There will be new information about different companies, what I've discovered into my investigation and research, what are the companies I'm actually trying to play with, what are the companies I'm investing on the long term, what are the companies actually which are more volatile, but I'm using, just investing smaller amount of money, but trying to increase, the amount I have on a regular basis. So hopefully this will be interesting to you guys. I know it was a long one, and missing the experience of making those videos, probably it was not so interesting so far, but hopefully the next one will going to be better. Looking forward to continue this with you guys and see where we go. I wish you a good weekend, a good week ahead, and let's meet into a next video next week. Goodbye.